What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Life Beyond the Jersey. You are here today with Hallie and Joey. We want to start this off by saying everything we talk about in all of these podcasts are our own personal life experiences. Some things may be good, some things may be bad, but that's why we're here talking about each thing, so you can kind of take our experiences and learn from them, so maybe you don't have to make the same mistakes we may have made in our lives and our journeys through college ball, post-college ball, pre-college ball, etc.
100%. So. And if you haven't yet, we're on Spotify and YouTube.
Yep.
So like, follow, share, subscribe.
Yep.
Drop us a note.
All the things.
Whatever
Leave
you
a
want.
comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Yeah, for sure. Sweet. Cool. Episode 4. Right into it.
Jumping in. What are we talking about today?
Faith. Faith, sports, the correlation of just more about your journey, to be honest, because I don't have as much experience with it as you, but the faith of how your faith played into your sport, how that transitioned you from what you did as a child to collegiate Hallie, into now adult professional Hallie, and kind of what that role of like faith plays for you.
Yeah.
Well, before we start it, probably gonna have to you need me turn that on or no?
It actually looks fine without it. I
Okay,
didn't even realize
good,
that wasn't on.
We
got a light that's not on.
We got a light that's not on. Not even plugged in, so we're good.
But before we jump into mine, I was thinking about this the other day randomly. When did your walk with Christ kind of begin? Is it more of a recent thing, or has it been kind of touch and go for a while?
So I've always I was born and raised Catholic, and we always went to church. For the most part, went to church. And I would say always because we went a lot, but it was a different kind of church experience. It was very, my mom's side of the family is Puerto Rican, my dad's side of the family is Italian. So church has always been big, or God and has always been big. It was different for me. We had to get dressed up and we had to go do all the things, and I was baptized and the first communion and all that. I went to a private all boys Catholic school in middle school for a year.
Wow.
I didn't last long there. I'm talking about you had to wear a tie to class. So it was like pants, shirt, a tie, you went to class. Long story short, not that we didn't have money, but comparatively to those kids, I was there for baseball. We didn't have the money that they had. So I wore a clip-on tie. And I was always the biggest kid in the room, but I would get made fun of and, the poor kid. And at one point I had to learn how to tie my tie, so I learned how to tie my tie. And then there was another kid who was, wealthy in his family, and they would always poke fun at me. So at one point I got fed up with it, and I ripped off his clip-on tie, and I hit him with it, I threw it at him. So I, whatever, it was we got into a fight. So I didn't last there. And then the second school, another Catholic, not all boys, but Catholic school, private school, in Gulliver in Miami. Church was part of it. Theology class was part of it. But I was there for sports, and I just didn't really fit in. My brother would take me to school, and he had a beat up F-150, and I'm pulling into school with Ferraris and Maseratis, and this is back in, I don't know, early, I guess late 1990s, early 2000s. So people, somebody had a Ferrari or whatever, they had money. So I would drive 30 minutes and get dropped off, and we would go to theology class and we would pray and all the things. And I always was big into Christ, and I would pray before I hit or pray before I pitched or any of that. But I didn't get along with the kids there either. And then as I got into high school, public school, I stopped going to church as much because I didn't like the idea of people were treated differently if they donated more to the church.
Yeah.
And for me, now I understand the importance of financial donations to the church, but I didn't like that there was reserved seating for certain people in our church, just because they donated whatever.
More money.
Yeah. Or they had a parking spot, or they had which I get it, but I also as a kid, it's well, why are we parking in the back?
Yeah.
So got away from it for a while. I always still prayed during tough times, or before I pitched every game, I would get on a knee and I would pray, and that was kind of more of a routine or a ritual for me. But I didn't ever have a strong walk with faith. And it's interesting, my cousins and my mom's side of the family is very, very religious, super homeschool, like belt to ass religious. And I went to sleep over at their house in the Carolinas one summer, and I remember this this is like a core memory of mine, that I went to their house to stay for like a week or something. And I loved Harry Potter. Like, I still love Harry Potter. I got a Harry Potter tattoo. Like, there's a wand back there. Like, I love Harry Potter. And I was reading my book before bed, and my aunt came in and saw it. And she took the book from me, put it in like wrapped it in aluminum foil, put it in a Ziploc bag, and shipped it back to my parents, and said that like, that is like of the devil, like, because it's magic and it's wizards, and like that's not allowed in my house. Like, we don't. They prayed for me, and they and I was like, okay, this is like I love this book, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, I love it. And now I'm the devil. Like, I'm confused. So I just never had a real big walk with faith, and I think up until recently, like, life's been rough, like, and of my own doing too, a couple things, but I found like. There's a guy in Orlando, Andy Jones, that I really, really enjoy his friendship, that I met, funny enough, through that same cousin group that sent my book. They know his kids, and they connected me with him when I was going through, my divorce. And he's just awesome. Like, I meet for him with coffee, and I don't really know what I'm doing in the faith world. Like, I told him yesterday, I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know how to do it. But he has helped me in terms of like a real male perspective, of like, here's my ideas of the Bible, here's what I read from it. Like, you don't have to read it, we can just have a beer. Like, he's a chaplain, and he's the first guy of the church I've ever had a beer with.
Interesting.
So my walk with faith was strong and forced as a kid. Got away from it just because maybe I didn't understand it, or I just, teenage years and adolescent years, you're kind of like, yeah, whatever. And now that like I have a kid, and I identify that like there's just parts of me that need to be better as like a human and a man and like a father, I want to find solace in like, I believe there's a bit higher power. I believe we're here for a reason. I believe there's a purpose. And I don't often know like what it means to like be a servant of Christ, because not that Christ is this fictitious thing, but I've never met him. Like, I've never, like,
right.
and like it's for somebody who is like a results driven person. I do like to see like instant.
You need what you need it to be in front of
something.
you.
Like, yeah. And I don't even need to be in front of me. I just would like to say, and I often pray about this, and it's like, hey, I want to believe. I do believe. I'm just like hesitant or nervous or skeptical in my belief. Like, reveal yourself or show me, like, and we've talked about this before, like, I think one of the ways him showing me is like, hey, you're getting fired, and you're not going to be able to find a job, and you're going to have to figure out a path. And and it's funny, Andy yesterday, he was like, I don't know if you've hit rock bottom yet. And this is like, for me, this is like coming off of a divorce, coming off of getting fired twice in the last 2 years, coming off of like some really life-changing things, and some of them are self-inflicted, but he's like, I don't even know if you, like, you're not even, like, you haven't hit the bottom. So like, you need to like pray for him to like if you're real, like, reach out and touch me, like, slap me in the face, like, show me something.
Yeah.
But that's scary, because like, you ask for that, you don't know what, like, you don't know what's gonna come.
I don't think you necessarily need to hit rock bottom to see God. But I don't know. I wouldn't say I guess some of the things I've been through you could consider rock bottom.
Right.
But I don't think you necessarily have to sit here and be like, okay, I need to hit rock bottom in order to see the face of the Lord. Or
I don't
like
think you need to hit it.
Feel like He's pulling me out of this. Because you see things where it's like, God is the rock at the bottom. But I don't think you necessarily need to get there. Because I think you're almost like, you have seen these things in your life, like these things that some people would consider a divorce rock bottom. Some people would consider getting fired rock bottom. Like, it's all perspective and how you see it. But I think that by already, like, having these things happen to you and you're already seeking the Lord, like, I don't think you're going to hit rock bottom. And you don't need to. And like, you're already seeking the Lord and looking for Him. And I don't think you necessarily, like, it's so hard to wrap your brain around the fact of like God is there, but you can't see him. It's like you have to just trust it.
Yeah.
Like there's no other answer. Like I remember I was probably in middle school and I was in youth group and we had this discussion in a small group. It's like, well, how do you know he's there? You just have to know. Like you just have to almost not even convince yourself, but you just have to know that he's there.
Right.
And just like it's somebody that like you're always talking to.
And it's funny because like we talked about like I think his point, which because I said the same thing, is like I don't want to. Like, if this isn't rock bottom, I don't want to get there.
Yeah.
And I think his point was like, I'm not saying you have to get there. It's just that you have always been able to like. I'm gonna use the word manipulate, and it comes with good and bad. I've been able to like manipulate situations or pivot or be flexible or be agile in like just figuring it out. And his point was like, if he wants you to get to like, you're not going to be able to figure that out. Like until he's ready for you to like figure it out. If you don't find the path, if you don't like dive into him, you're asking him to reveal himself.
Yeah.
Well, he is. And like, if you keep ignoring it, these things are going to keep where you're going to have no choice but to do it. You're going to have no choice but to say, I'm at the bottom. Like I need something. And he said, you don't want to get there. Then you need to figure out how to like, start living more in line with like a Christian man or like, and you know, it's funny, like the whole Charlie Kirk thing, which we won't get into, but I've never really listened to him talk, ever. I mean, I've seen him like clips on YouTube.
But you are now.
Yeah, but it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
And it's like, and some of the energy and like the way he talks to people and like some of his combats he's human and he's like very snarky and like, kind of a dick sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah,
right,
he had
does
a
it on
little
purpose,
attitude.
right? And for me, I'd be like, dude, like, you're annoying. But when I listen to him now, the 70% of his like, 80% of his like stuff always resorts. Well, all of his stuff always resorts back to Christ and back to his beliefs as a Christian. I don't agree with the way he's talked down to some people because he's more intelligent. But I do like.
Which I'm sure he's grown. You don't know how old some of the videos you've seen
and that's the thing about social media is like I'm sure he's more professional now, but I found it very empowering. And me and Andy talked about this is that as his fame rose, there was definitely girls chasing him. There was definitely things he could have been doing, the clubs, because he got popular and like him coming somewhere means attention.
Yeah.
And he chose the life of I got my best friend, I got my wife, I got my kids. Like I can have all that other stuff, but this is just what I want. And here's why I want it. So it's interesting to see that like somebody so dedicated to that path of faith and his beliefs, a life is taken for whatever reason, too soon, but now he's everywhere. And so like, you know, that the purpose is to build a base and then share the word. And like, now you see like, Justin Jefferson he plays for the Vikings, where he's dedicated, or he has pledged to say, I will pay for the schooling for your two kids for their entire life.
And all their housing needs.
I don't know if you've ever met Justin Jefferson, but like this, I'll pay for it.
Yeah. And there's been other people that have come out and pledged to help as well.
And it's like, does Charlie Kirk's family need that?
Right.
Probably not. Like he's probably got, but
I'm sure he has a lot of money in the reserves, but his wife is probably just being a wife,
you
know.
And she had some foundation too that I forgot what it is, but I think it's like shocker, but like I feel like it's something to do with either dogs or like orphan kids. Like it's like some kind of like foundation she has. I read that too. But it's interesting to see like, and this is why we're talking about this, athletes and Christ, like very synergistic and very like connected, whether it's Tim Tebow, whether it's whoever it is, all these athletes kind of turn to Christ and that's their journey. And I think I want to hear from you too about like, how is because yours is different. Like you have actively done, you knew about that little, what's it called?
FCA.
I had no idea what that is.
Really? That shocked me. When you said that, I was like,
never heard of it.
I just assumed everybody kind of knew what that was.
No, and I don't, and I think that's the interesting thing is that when Andy told me about, there was like these Christian,
huddles is what we called them.
Whatever. Like there's groups in the church. Like when you go, and this is just my perspective, when you go to college, I don't know of one teammate that openly said, I go to church, or I go to FCA, or I'm meeting with this group, or like, and I'm sure they did when they went back home, but when you're in college, like no, and I could be wrong, but we all prayed like before games, and we all, but nobody was ever like.
But you didn't talk about God outside of that pregame prayer.
Correct. It's a pregame prayer. It's
so
like,
it almost feels like fabricated. Like this is something we have to do because maybe if we do this, it'll help us win.
And it's funny because like you're gonna post a picture on this clip so they know what I'm talking about. Okay. But this is the first team men's softball that I have been a part of, where I have been invited to prayer before the game. And there's one guy who arguably doesn't like necessarily have the strongest walk of Christ, and he just joins us because like it's camaraderie.
Out of respect.
But then our sponsor joined us, and like there's a picture of us of like 5 of us just on a knee praying for the game. And it's not about help us win. Mm-hmm. It's look after our bodies, look after our family back home. And we always laugh, but he says, Anthony says, if we lose, we know why, and if we win, it's your will, or something like that. Where like, if we're successful here, like that was your will. Right. And it's not about like help us win, it's just look after our families. Thank you for letting us be here. Yada yada yada. So like that's cool to me. I think that's really cool. But that's really cool to me is that like even in a arguable like beer league softball man, like his name was Anthony, and hopefully we can get him on because he's got a huge following on TikTok. Like he takes it upon himself to say, guys, like let's pray. Whoever wants to play, we're going to pray. For every game. We play 7 games in a day. We pray 7 times.
The thought of playing 7 games in a day, first off, is just...
My body hurts. Still.
Yeah.
We played 4 last weekend.
It's like playing like you're 12 again.
I had my whoop at one point. Well, you have it. It was, whoop.
Let me know if you want a link.
Listen, I need to get back on it. I would burn anywhere from 10 to 13,000 calories a day when we're playing more than 2 or 3 games.
I don't even think I burn that many calories in my CrossFit competition.
So like, but again, like,
granted, we're inside in the air conditioning.
And if you're in the outfield, which we are, like, I would venture to guess my center fielder Chad runs 15, 20 miles in a weekend. Like,
that's wild.
It's a lot.
That's it.
Yeah. So, what about your walk? Like, talk to me about the experiences, like pre-high school Hallie, like what church was like for you, post, like into college, and then as an adult, and then like even as your life and your experiences as a woman, like what does your walk with Christ look like?
So I was raised in church. My parents were youth leaders, so we were always at the church. I was going to youth group trips as a little kid, and like I remember these trips. I was probably 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Yeah. Going on, high school youth group trips. So I was going on youth group trips before I even got into youth group, and then into youth group, I'm going on, very involved in the youth group. All my friends in high school and middle school were teammates and people from youth group. And our youth group was like multiple kids from like our whole parish from Louisiana. We don't have counties. So we had kids from 6 schools coming into like this one youth group and stuff. So was always very involved in the church. Christ was always kind of the center of my life, honestly. Not saying I was a perfect Christian and that I was doing everything for the Lord, like I wasn't consciously walking with the Lord my whole upbringing, but he was present in my life my whole upbringing. I also grew up non-denominational, so very just, love God, love people, come as you are. Yeah. Live for him.
So not Catholic, not Christian.
Do the right thing. Non-denominational.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's still Christian. It's just not your Catholic. It's not Baptist. Yeah. It's, which I've been to some Baptist churches before. I've also been to Catholic churches before, with friends and stuff. My mom was raised Catholic.
Gotcha.
So into middle school and high school, obviously high school, I don't know. High school, I was very involved in like youth group and church. Like we met, it was called 318 Live, I believe. It was like all the high school kids, we met up at this one big church, had youth group, we did trips, we did missions, we did the whole 9. It was a very prominent thing in my life.
I never did any of that.
That was like, the thing. I'll also say, like, even though I grew up in church, my parents never forced it on us. Like, we had conversations, like, after church sometimes, like, oh, what'd y'all talk about? You know, what do you think about it? Yada, yada. But it was never like, you have to go to youth group, you have to do this. It was always like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that is also something that really helped, like, keep the faith base, was that it was something I wanted to do. It was never forced upon me. But, so yeah, that was kind of my walk through my upbringing. But once I got to college, which I didn't realize it until looking back now, my first college I went to, there was hardly a thought of God. Like, I was living the college life while playing ball. I would pray, you know. Let me rewind. My freshman year, I would pray when I thought about it, but it wasn't like
You didn't prioritize it.
I was not prioritizing my walk with faith. My sophomore year, I started to kind of hit rock bottom. I got really depressed, really struggled through season. There was a lot of mental abuse from the coaching staff. When I say coaching staff, it was like one of the coaches.
Man or woman?
Man.
Yeah.
Not saying women are perfect.
Yeah.
There was
I'm
also
just
that
curious.
with women, with female coaches as well. So I started to re-implement, like, okay, I need to figure something out, because the life I'm living right now, the life I'm choosing to live, is not working. So through season, I struggled mentally, like, bad. I was in a really dark place my sophomore year. So I made it a priority to prioritize my faith. I went to a really small school in a really small town, so there weren't a lot of church options. There was one Baptist church and one Catholic church.
And this was before like live streaming, like church service.
Yeah. This was like 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So I went to the Baptist church with one of my teammates. I think I might have gone twice. Didn't love it. Very like old school Baptist. You got the choir singing, the preachers telling you how anything you do wrong is sending you straight to hell type stuff, right? So, like, okay, this isn't it. I went to a Catholic church with one of my Catholic teammates, and I was like, this still isn't it, but I don't feel like I'm going to hell when I walk out of here. So I just started prioritizing it through myself. I got this devotional. I actually brought it. I saw it when I was walking out the door this morning. It's an FCA devotional, actually. It's called Heart of an Athlete. I ordered it on Amazon because I was like, I need something. So it's daily devotions for peak performance. I started doing this, which I did a couple more as well. This is just one that I saw when I walked out the door. But on game days, I would wake up way before anybody else, kind of give myself time to settle. Because, you know, you wake up on game day, you're all jazzed up.
Right.
I'd give myself time to settle. I would eat breakfast before anybody else got down there, and while I was eating breakfast, I was doing my devotional. And then I started doing that, and then a few weeks in, a couple other teammates started doing it, and then a couple other teammates started doing it. And it's like, I didn't say, like, hey, guys, I'm going down here to do a devotional. It just kind of all fell into place.
I think that's because, like, and it's funny because, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
there was another podcast that I was listening to, Joby Martin, which is the guy from 1122. He said that, like, how often are you in church and, like, you want to say, hey, and they ask for prayer, and you want to say, hey, I'd like for somebody to pray for this. You don't say it, and then somebody else says it, and you're like, oh yeah, I want, like,
I do need that.
It's just because like it's almost like the kindling of the fire. Like, you get to college and you don't want to be. And Charlie Kirk talks about this a lot. Is that, like, it's almost like weird to be a Christian. It's almost like you're pinned as like the weird, like the
Yeah,
the
it's
weird
like taboo.
Yeah. Whereas before it was like, if you were a good Christian man or woman, like, those are people you did business with.
You were
like,
lifted
you
up.
wouldn't do
Yeah.
business with somebody if you weren't a good Christian. Or if you're in a Jewish community, like, you weren't, like, actively faithful in your Jewish, like, whatever it is, you wouldn't do business with those people. Now it's like, I mean, you guys are kind of, I don't know, you're a little bit too vocal. Like, you're too, you're like on the outsider. So I think it's because, like, you started that, like, hey, I'm going to do this, and, like, I need it. And then somebody else was like, yeah, actually, you know what? I used to do that. Why did I stop doing that?
Yeah. And so that was kind of my sophomore year. And then I transferred to Tarleton, and everything completely shifted for me.
In Texas, you got
Yeah.
churches everywhere.
Exactly. Which I was in Arkansas. I was in the Bible Belt. You would have thought that it was just like
But you were in like small
pouring out.
Arkansas, weren't
I was
you?
very small Arkansas, yeah. But
Yes. I
yes.
was saying in Ranger, that why is there no churches in Ranger? It's like, oh, we got the one pew in the corner.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got to Stephenville, and there's an awesome church there that had college nights and, stuff like that. And my whole team, it was like as soon as I got there, hey, we're going to it was called T-Rock. It was like Timber Rock on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Timber Ridge on campus, sorry. Hey, we're going to T-Rock tonight. Tonight. You want to come? I'm like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's a college ministry. I was like, heck yeah, I'm in. So like from the week I got there to the week I left, I'm not saying we went every single week, but like it was always a part of it. It was like our whole team, a large majority of
Team
our
bonding.
team. Like we were going to T-Rock. It's like we arranged study hall around our ministry time. So it was like we would go, some days we would go to study hall and then leave study hall and go straight to college ministry. We were praying together. We were having those hard conversations with each other. Like it was very, very prominent within our team, which was a blessing, especially whenever it came COVID time and everything else. Like
Cool.
It was always a very big part of our team. And prayers before games were like, you could feel it. It wasn't, let us win if we're meant to win. It was keep us safe, keep us, keep our mental, keep our eyes on you through this game. It was all very
Fit to him.
Yeah, it was what it was supposed to be.
I think that's it's interesting. You get to college and you want to explore and you want to party and go to the bars and do all the fun things that you want to do. But there's also if it's not instilled in you as a discipline early, and not a forced discipline, but this is just part of your life, and there's not a reason why, it's easy to get away from it. I think for me, understanding that no, you can still party and you can still enjoy college and you're whatever, but
and we did. I'm not saying that
right.
we
and
only went to church.
There has to be a focal point of a grounding or an anchor, and it's that, because that's never going away.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And how about now, as an adult?
Post college, so what? I graduated in 22. It's 25 now, so it's been 3 years. I would say I've gotten more into the Word the last year. I'm not saying I completely turned my back on the Lord prior to that, but life gets busy. Sometimes it's not prioritized and you don't even realize.
Right.
So I will say that, I told you in the last episode, or 2 episodes ago, we found a good church here. We love it. We prioritize going to church now. I'm doing my devotionals, not every single morning, but almost all mornings. I've learned to pray throughout my day and talk to the Lord throughout the day, and as just conversational, as if you have somebody riding in the car with you.
Right.
I feel like social media has also helped, I think. Seeing other podcasts and seeing people that are way more intelligent in the Word is helpful. Social media is not all bad.
Right. And
it's all about what your For You page
is. It's an algorithm, right?
Yeah.
It's just what do you what are you?
What do you want to see?
What do you want to see? What are you actively searching? And I think we talked about it. It can go one of two ways very quickly, and then it shifts so quick. So
right.
There's a lot of cool things that from inspiration till it's faith-based inspiration to just sermons, and it's cool to see social media can shift into that dynamic versus the sin and the temptation and because that's out there too.
It is, and I'm not saying I'm sitting here talking about my walk with Christ. I am not a perfect human by any means.
When I say walk, I mean stumble, fall, crawl.
Yeah, digging out of dirt, drowning in the water.
It's not really a walk. It's more of
it's a journey.
Crawl.
It's a trek.
Yeah,
it's a trek. Yeah, so I'm not saying I've been the perfect Christian, because I'm not. I'm human. I've made all the same mistakes as the next guy. You know. So, but yeah. And in college we also had FCA. I'm talking about our college ministry. We also had FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
So tell us what that is, because I had no idea.
Who don't know. So I can't speak for every college in the country, but ours, we had two amazing leaders.
Just put his name on the screen.
Yeah. There's this older couple. He played football at Tarleton like way back in the day. So, Tarleton's logo or mascot is like the football player on the horse and the horse is bucking.
Yeah.
One of his teammates, so the mascot used to like just be a horse.
Yeah.
And one of his teammates, after like a big win, went and jumped on the back of the horse, rode it to the 50-yard line. The horse bucked, and one of the newspapers took a picture of it, and that's
their logo.
That's cool. That's how long ago he played. And he actually has that newspaper clipping on his refrigerator.
That's cool.
Of like that picture. But yeah, they were awesome. Once a week, we would meet in the weight room and just have a huddle. We called them huddles. It was just a devotional time, just a Bible study.
Yeah.
It was for any athlete on campus. And if you had a roommate that wasn't an athlete, you bring them too. Like, they're not turning away kids at the door for not being an athlete. But, like, we had a roommate that wasn't an athlete. She came with us every week. Yeah. But, of course, predominantly the athletes on campus. There was also, like, meet you at the pole day, the flag pole prayer day. Did you ever do that in school? So meet me at the pole.
There's really nothing that I knew of Christian or faith or church at the colleges that I went to. Really? There was never like hey, you should come to this.
That's interesting, especially going to Christian schools.
I mean, well, I guess in middle school maybe, but I'm talking about college. Like in colleges, there was never like a I don't know, maybe it just was a circle. I didn't run in that circle, but it was like true. I never heard about like come to church, come to this, FCA, come to this group meetup, come to this. It was always like what bar, what party, like
yeah. So meet me at the pole was a day where before school for like middle schoolers and high schoolers. They may have done it in college as well. I don't know because we were at the middle schools and high schools. It was like before the bell rang. It was just an invitation for anybody that wanted to join. It was just a big prayer at the flagpole. And so we would go to the middle school and high schools and lead these and, talk to the kids and say like, hey, it's still cool to be a Christ follower even at our age. Because I'm sure kids see like athletes on TV, which you do see athletes praying before games and stuff on TV, but I'm sure it puts in better perspective for kids like these older, college D1 athletes.
The kids
are
before
praying.
The kids on TV are praying. So if the kids are down, if the kids before the TV are praying and the people on TV are praying, then that's kind of the progression.
I want to do that too.
Yeah, you don't have to skip that part.
Exactly. So I'm sure it was a cool little influential thing for them. There was also, I never got to go to one of these. There would be almost like summer camps, but it was I don't remember what they were called. It was people from FCA's, all colleges, would meet up for a week or a weekend during the summer and just have just essentially a church camp, but for college athletes. But it was cool because you've got the FCA from LSU and you've got athletes from Tarleton. You've got athletes from big school here and small school there. And it was just a big coming together of Christians.
We went to I did summer camps and Elks camp, but it was learn how to build a fire, learn how to shoot an arrow, learn how to it wasn't like a
church camp,
or it wasn't there was not really prayer. It was more you're outdoors.
Go here and spend time in the wilderness.
And build a friend, or it was just baseball camp. There was never and I think it's also because at our college. I don't know. I wonder how much the active faith in the coaching staff and the coaches play a role in doing faith-based stuff versus they don't believe in. Then we were we went to the inner city of Philly and handed out sandwiches and fundraise and
community service. Stuff,
but we didn't do church stuff.
You didn't do missions.
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been on a mission. I've never done that I know of.
I'm sure there's some around here.
Probably. I probably should look into that.
It'd be a cool little team bonding thing for DBAT.
That would be.
Make Kennedy go feed some homeless.
I mean, listen, it's funny because
Action Church does a lot of outreach stuff.
Yeah. As you mentioned that, I think about DBAT. I don't know about Shelby. I don't know about Christine because we don't talk about it. I don't know about...
Christine's Christian.
Yeah. I don't know about Kyle. I don't know about JC. But I do know that Kenna, Jackson, Veronica, you, Bree, Kenna, Jackson, Veronica, you, Bree,
McKenna,
Hannah, McKenna. I think McKenna. All of these like younger. I say younger,
athletes.
but like they like excluding you because you're not in that group, but you
Right.
are. All of those like.
He just called me old. That's
25.
crazy. Sub 25. Wow. Just missed the mark.
26?
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Sub 30.
No.
Sub 30 athletes are like super big into their faith.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's like it's interesting to see that. Like I've had a conversation with Jackson about the Bible and like Kennedy about like and Hannah and Kenna, Veronica. Like you just, it's interesting to see like that generation. Say what you want about them, like Gen Z. Are they Gen Z? Are you Gen Z?
Gen Zennial. It's like
Whatever they
in
are.
between that.
They're big in
Millennial
that
Gen Z
space.
line, I
Like
believe.
they follow. They go to church. They read. Like I mean, Kenna's always, and she's as funny as they come.
Oh yeah,
she's awesome. Like I have to remind
she's so
myself.
grown too.
I have
told
to
her.
remind
I
myself
told
that
her.
she's 16.
I literally told her that yesterday. I was like, I'm sorry for some of the stuff I say because I forget you're so young.
And it's like again, like as somebody who owns like that business, it's like she acts like 21.
She acts like she's already in college, and she carries herself like that. Like
she commits to her workout, like, and I think that's a testament to like one, her faith, and two, her dedication to her craft, which is being a good person, aligning with my faith, and then like she's the only 16-year-old that I ever met that is a power lifter and a softball player. Like it's like, and she does it because it translates.
Yeah,
and it's like not that it's right or wrong, but like it's funny to see like these younger kids that are just like, yeah, I'm a Christian and I'm happy about it.
She's the same size as me, like muscular wise, as I was like my junior year of college.
I mean, the two different like look at the two body
grinds.
types of Veronica and Kenna.
Yeah.
Like, and then not say Veronica's not fit and doesn't work out.
No, but she's also a slapper.
Right, slapper. Or even like, I mean, Hannah and Kenna. Like Yetter is a sophomore in college, and like just
that's genetics too.
That's genetics too. But then
genetics.
Kenna, if you've seen her mom and her dad, they're not genetically like
Really?
they're not like they're in shape, but they're not like big people. They're both like, you know, just normal white people. Like they just got normal like athletic bodies. But Kenna's built. Like it's interesting to see that
she's
how like
so strong.
And she's super vocal about her faith and like her and it's just cool to see that like from Kenna, who's 16, to Jackson, to Christine, who's, I won't say how old she is, but like, you know, that gap of people.
You made that sound like she's like 50.
She's not. She's like just a tiny
30s.
bit older than me. Yeah. But I like to give her shit because she is older than me. By like a couple months. But it's cool to see like these young athletes like really faith is important.
Yeah.
And like even like from like a dating perspective or at that age, I guess a boyfriend, girlfriend, like social, like it's like, no, it's important to me. Like if you don't do that, then I'm not sure that aligns, which I've never not dated somebody because they aren't, like I've never been like, hey, that's a red flag.
Yeah, and the Lord says
like that should
to not be unequally yoked.
Right.
In your faith, yeah.
Right. Interesting. Okay, so how do you feel that faith guides you in non-athletics and just like life and like life decisions, and like what do you actively do to try to be a better servant of Christ? Like what are some things that you feel you actively do that you can be proud of saying, I do this in an effort or in a step, or because I'm actively trying to be a better servant, even though sin is inevitable and like we are always going to sin. So like, what steps do you take to say, even though I know I'm going to sin at some point, I'm going to do, or I do X, Y, and Z to try and like implement and ingrain those core values of like a Christian?
My breakfast.
Pre-workout? Breakfast,
yeah.
Good.
No, that's good. I personally, I'm a crap talker first.
Okay.
Like, I have my, like, ideations?
Ideologies?
Yeah. Of, like, how a person, this is terrible.
We're human. Welcome
I know. I immediately judge people. When I look at somebody, I'm judging them, which is terrible. It's awful. So that is one thing I'm really, really trying hard at right now, is like looking at somebody and seeing like, this person was made in the image of God and he does not make mistakes, so they are exactly how they're supposed to be.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just, I'm a crap talker and I judge and I talk crap. So that is one thing. I know that wasn't really the question. That is one thing I'm really working on right now.
Well, you are. You're actively trying to work on like.
Yeah, like shifting my point of view. But I am, and it's not in a way to where like I'm trying to like put somebody down.
Right.
It's just, and it's like in my head, it's out of fun. It's like picking, like we pick fun at Jackson's hair, just for fun, like locker room talk, right? But I was gonna say, I think it's because of growing up in sports, and my family's also Italian. Like we're always picking at each other.
Yeah.
Like even just this last week, we were giving my little brother. He finally started talking to some girl, and we were giving him crap about it. And he was like, he said something. I was like, oh wow, you're right. He was like, this is why I don't tell y'all anything about my life, because y'all always just want to crap on, like, talk shit about me. I have two brothers.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I have an older and a younger.
Okay.
Right in the middle. But he was like, y'all always want to, like, pick on me and give me crap about every little thing anytime I start, like, talking to a girl. And I was like, oh, like, he's right. Like, we give each other shit about everything.
I want to say it's a sports thing because, like, even, like, as I look back on, like, my dating life or even, like, Erica, it was like, oh, that must be your love language, like because all you do is pick on me. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't tease.
I wouldn't do it exactly. But
then it's like figuring out like somebody who doesn't come from that is like, dude, stop.
Yes. But anyways, back to your question. I know that was kind of really off topic.
No, but so one method is you're actively trying to like, although internally you might initially judge, like understand that is just a human flaw of like, and that there's more to that story than meets the eye.
Yeah. So, like, on the contrary, is I feel personally, and I don't like when other people say this, so, like, I don't even like saying it. I feel like I'm a very good person at heart. Like, if you ask me to do anything, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I put other people before myself 9 times out of 10. Whether it's somebody I met last week or somebody that has been in my corner since I was 12.
Yeah.
I feel like I love with my whole heart no matter who you are. And I feel like that's, like, the biggest way like I live through Christ right now.
Do you feel like even in relationships, like that's how you love?
Yes. I think through relationships I also do lots of acts of service because I'm always wanting to do things for people, and sometimes not everybody wants that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because like I think if you, and like I mean I think we've talked about it, but like if you ask people at DBAT or ask like the community at DBAT or like ask my instructors, like I will happily like go out of my way to help whoever like, but in like certain relationships, it's like we don't want to do anything. Like you're selfish, and it's like, man, but I'm not. Like I outside of maybe that space, like I will. I don't know. I'm just very willing to give time, effort, money, energy.
Anything.
And like if I can help somebody, I want to help.
That's how I am too.
And it's irrelevant
of who you are,
of who I am, and like, is there an ROI or not? Like, I don't really care.
I'm the same.
But if I'm in a relationship, I find myself like, well, what do I get out of this? I don't want to go to the farmer's market. Like, why? Like, what do I get? Like, okay, fine.
Yeah. No, I see exactly where you're coming from.
But I have learned that like acts of service make me feel good. And I don't know if that's selfish for doing acts of service, but like they do make me feel good.
I think you're supposed to do what makes you feel good.
One of the biggest like interesting arguments that me and Erica had as we were like separating was like she wanted me to do things because I wanted to do them with her. It was like, I don't want you to do this just because to appease me. I want you to want to do it. And I was like, well, I don't want to do it. But like, I will do it. Like, I don't want to do it. And it was funny because like my mom, when I was growing up, same conversation is like, her thing was like Sunday, let's like work on the garden. And like, she loved her flowers and wake up at 8:30 and like, or whatever, and help in the garden for an hour or two. And it was like, no, I want you to want to help me. And it's like, okay, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to be digging. Like, I will help you, but I don't.
But I think also as a kid, you don't realize it. Like your parents just want as much time with you as possible.
Correct. And I think that is what it was, is that I just want to like you to want to spend time with me. Like, it doesn't matter what we're doing.
Right.
It's just like, I don't want to have to beg for your time, which now I understand is like, I have a kid now, so like walking around the farmer's market for an hour and buying some like
some sourdough.
That's cool. Yeah. Like, the other day, it was raining and he was at my house, and like we went and played in the rain. Like, did I want to get soaking wet? No, but like it was cool for him to play in the rain and be like,
right.
So like, it's funny that like as you grow, like you learn, hey, like maybe you don't want to do it, but do you want to be in the space of that person?
Yeah.
And then that's
exactly.
why you're doing
loving people. I mean, that's the biggest thing he calls us to do, is just love one another.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like love has sacrifices as well.
Yeah,
so it's like
and sacrifices. Yeah, for sure.
So if you love somebody, they want to go to the farmer's market one day.
I can golf after the farmer's market.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool.
What are your goals with your faith right now? Like for the next... Oh, actually, I want to go back to this. I thought this like at the very beginning. Well, I thought about it, and I've held on to it, and I keep thinking about it. And you're talking about like hitting your rock bottom, like you don't think you've hit your rock bottom, but making sure you're actually doing what you're called to do. Do you think that like, and the avoidance thing, do you think that by like committing to your job and like, how do I put this? Do you think that there's something that God is calling you to do that you're avoiding, or that you were avoiding with your job and maybe with the family that you started, that they ended because he's trying to point you in the direction of something else that you were avoiding? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's a two-part question. There's the family part.
Yeah, I was going to say, it feels crappy to say that.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Because I've talked about it. The family part, I think that ended because of my lack of maturity and my lack of understanding that a person, a partner, a son, a wife, whatever it is, isn't there to make you feel good and fulfill you. Like if you are looking to a partner, to fulfill your gaps or your spaces or your loneliness, like that's not, nobody can ever do that.
Yeah.
For like that, there's like short-term fills, but like what I'm gathering and what I'm learning is that like those voids in my life of like being lonely, like that has to be filled by God. Mm-hmm. My faith fills that. 100%. And then a partner can join me in that journey. That is our anchor together. And I think that is a big reason why none of my relationships have ever worked, is that I don't have my own anchor for myself, and I've never been with a partner who has an anchor as well.
Got it.
So I've been looking for somebody to make me feel good, anchor me down, bring me balance, like bring me peace. And Erica was very much like, do what you want to do. Like go do whatever you want to do. Go ahead and do it. Like you're free to do whatever you want to do. Like she wasn't very, she wasn't controlling at all. And I've been in relationships where it's like, no, like I want to be with you I want to be there, and that's overwhelming. So I think in the faith piece, my goal is to find some balance and find some faith and find some solace and some anchor in God, and that be like the rock that is kind of like the lighthouse in like a storm. I can always revert back to that and have that with me. The job thing, I definitely think that he has taken away things from me to get me to focus on other things.
Like the right thing, like what you're supposed to be doing.
And I think where I struggle is in my mind, in my heart, like what I feel is that DBAT and that kind of like community, the value it brings to the community, is a part of my calling. But what I struggle with is, do I feel that way because I know it can make me money? And like, I know it can like be a...
You're not taking any money from it.
Not yet.
Yeah, but you're not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, 100%. I get, and I get that. But I think, I guess my struggle is that like at some point I either get another job and then I'm taking away my energy and focus on DBAT, or like we talked about, I just go all in and I don't, but then I am taking money from DBAT. Right. And it's like, why am I doing it? Like, am I doing it to actually help the community? Or am I doing it because like it is a way for Joey to live a nice life, have some, but in that same space, like I feel like it sets me up to like have the freedom to do other things and have the financial ability to do other things. And it's not even like buy a yacht, be on a boat, travel, like do that anymore. Like I mean, that'd be cool, but like, that's not like it'd be spend more time with my kids, spend more time with my family. Yeah. Help kids who are like, okay, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to put their business out there, but like there was an instance where a family came to us, they didn't come to us, comes to DBAT, and they're in a tough time of life. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of things going on, financial, health, all the things. And they had a membership and they were doing lessons, and I didn't know that. I've never met this person. And one of our instructors came to me and said, "Hey, I want to do lessons with this person, but I don't want to get paid. So I'll pay for their lessons, but don't pay me." And I said, "No, like, why?" And they, cool. I said, "All right, here's what we're gonna do. Tell them to call the DBAT they're their members at, cancel it. I'll give them a free membership for life, and then they don't ever pay for anything at DBAT. Yeah, like if you don't want to get paid, fine, but their lessons and they're like free. Does it shift? Does it change their life? No, it's a $78 a month membership. But I mean,
that can be the difference between.
But the kid gets to come and have a place to go.
Exactly, they get an escape. They get that time away from home. They get the time to distract themselves from whatever's going on at home.
Right, and that's like, for me, that feels good. And
it should make you feel good.
Right, and then I think like, why does that make me feel good? Well, I'm giving to somebody who is in a tough spot and who needs it. Like, and I never met this person. Person know who I am. Like I shook hands with the dad and the daughter, but they had no idea. Yeah. And it was just like, hey, I'm in this place to do a good thing for a person. Yeah. My other job, like I had to get approval and go through HR, and it's like, no, bro. Like if I want to give this person whatever, I don't want to ask anybody. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that like DBAT gives me a space to provide places for athletes to have an escape, or just become like, just get a place to come that's cool and like they enjoy coming to, and like it's a safe haven. Like the amount of girls and females that come through DBAT, that if DBAT isn't there, I don't know where they practice or play.
That's I like that point. So whenever I interviewed with you, your biggest thing was, I'm building a place where the softball players can come and feel safe and have a comfortable and safe place to work. That's huge, because most DBATs, and like I've been to a lot of DBATs. Whenever we were playing in college, when we would travel to away trips, 9 times out of 10 we stopped at a DBAT on a travel day to get some swings in. Yeah. Every time we walked in there, the softballs are falling apart. They have 2 buckets of softballs. There's baseball players giving us dirty looks. There's dip all over the floor. The tees are falling apart. Like, it was not a place where I'm like, they probably have 10 softball members. Yeah. And it's probably girlfriends of some of these guys in here, just so they can come hit together. It's like, I think you're running your DBAT the most perfect way possible.
And like we talked about this a lot. Like we talked about, where can we, because at the end of the day it's a business, like where can we cut costs, where can we make more profit? Right. And the places where we could potentially cut costs, I'm not willing to cut. It's like, get rid of the cleaning. We have a cleaning crew that comes through once a week, and they clean. I'm not willing to cut that. Yeah. Let the balls last a little longer. No, I don't. Yeah. I don't want, like, and it's not perfect. Our machines break, like, but those are out of my control. the most I'm gonna say hurtful, but hurtful's not the right word. the most kind of dejecting or like comment that we've got. Somebody canceled their membership and they said because we liked it way better when you had a dedicated cage for softballers and like a dedicated machine for softball.
Oh, because the baseball side was down.
Because the baseball side was down. And then I saw them a couple weeks later at the facility again. And while I understand that point, it is difficult to justify having one because the baseball just outweighs the softball. Yeah, but
it does. I mean, that's right. Going to be in any.
Right, but if you look at it, like I think we have more softball than baseball, or we did at one point. I don't know if we do anymore because we went to college. But like my biggest passion point is like, how can if I can get softball as close to 50-50 as baseball as possible, it's an untapped revenue stream, but also the runway for softball players is so much shorter than baseball. So like I was talking to a girl. She's a junior, and she was saying, I want to go to Oklahoma. And I said, look, yes, love that. Love it for you. I said, but let me tell you what that means. That means 5 a.m. workouts. That means study hall. That means class. That means dieting. That means weight room. That means all the things. So I said, and let's just say you go to Oklahoma, because I hope you do, and you don't play till you're a junior, if you play as a junior. So you worked your whole softball life to play maybe 1 year of college. I said, find out what your passion is from a scholar standpoint, and then go to a place that will feed that while you can play for 4 years. Mm-hmm. I told a kid this year, he was saying, oh, he's getting looked at by Alabama. I said, I love that for you. Don't go. Yeah. Go to JUCO. 2 years in JUCO, 4 years in 4 year. Like, do that. Well, no, I said, I get it, but if you are not a starter, if you're not guaranteed to start, then you worked your whole life to maybe play a year or two of college at a big school, which is great. But if you're not like a doctor or a lawyer or and I told another a golfer friend of mine, she's in Notre Dame now. I said she was looking at like Harvard, and I said, I understand that, but like that's the connections there set you up. But like, what do you want to be? I want to be a golf pro. Then go play golf. Yeah. And go to a school where you're going to play golf and it's good at golf, and then build your career off that. Yeah.
And that's not going to say that none of the kids that walk to our facility are going to go Power 5.
We got a couple kids that.
I mean, we had a girl signed to Penn State.
And Mac went to Penn State. One of the guys from UT Tennessee, he just left there because he wasn't sophomore. He didn't play. Yeah. They said, "Hey, you're going to start." He never played, so he left.
Well, all the coaches when you go on your visit, they tell you you're going to be a starter. Right. You're going to be an All-American here. You're going to lead us to the national championship. But that doesn't go to say that every one of the kids need to go look below. I mean, there are some like extremely talented kids that bust their butt to get to the Power 5 level. Hell yeah, do it if that's what you want to do. But like you're saying, it's what do you want out of it? Because if you're the kid that's like, I'm going to go and I'm going to bust my butt to be a freshman starter, cool, go try. Yeah.
I told Yetter that, or I told Kenna that. Or I told Yetter and Kenna, I said, okay, you got to UT Tampa. Yeah. What now? Well, I want to do good. So, no, you want to start as a freshman. Yeah. Like, what do we have to do to get you to start as a freshman? Like, you got there. Yeah. There's a senior in front of you. How do you take her job? Yeah. Well, I can't. Well, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
If she rolls an ankle and you hit 600 in the 2 series you play, and they don't play you, then you know it's favoritism. But if you know that you went in there and you hit and you outperformed, then you can hang your hat and say, okay, well then next year is my time because she's a senior, she's getting to play in time. Yeah. And as we wrap up, what's your goal with Faith? Like, what is in this chapter of your life? Like, what is your?
I don't know. I'm on a good track right now, honestly. Like, I feel as close to God than I've ever been right now. Nice. So I think just keeping that going, and I would love to be at the capacity to do something like you were talking about, like you're giving back in little ways, like giving free memberships. And I kind of had the idea when you're talking like, why don't we do like a charity type event, like twice a year kind of thing? Yeah. Like a summer camp for the kids that maybe can't, like a weekday or a couple of days of like not underprivileged kids, but like maybe their families can't swing it. I mean, like the economy sucks right now. It's probably hard for families to spend an extra $150 at the cages a month, or an extra $80. I feel like there's definitely things that can be done from us. A big thing that's been talked about at church that kind of stuck with me is in the Bible, it says like, don't put other things on a pedestal like in front of God, but so it's,
idolize.
Yeah. Sometimes in college I had the thought of like, okay, well, not am I supposed to be playing softball, but am I putting softball in front of like my walk in my faith? But so, like those thoughts bounce around in your head of like, am I putting all these things in front of God? But then something was said at church a few weeks ago that really stuck with me, where he was like, God wants you to use the gift, whatever your gift is that you have, he wants you to use that gift to walk with him and spread the word. So it's like, I've kind of been juggling that around in my head. It's like, obviously my God-given gift is my athleticism and my softball career. It's like, yeah, I'm washed up now, like I'm a has-been now, but it's like, that is my gift. That was my purpose, at least until I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like finding that, like we've talked about, finding your purpose and finding your life outside of sports. But it's like, maybe, what if that God-given talent of softball and of sport is what I'm still supposed to be doing, just in a different capacity now? So maybe kind of finding what my true purpose is with my God-given talent and figuring out a way to reflect that and maybe give back to kids in the way that I can. I don't know.
That's cool.
I don't know.
I don't know, we'll close with this.
Yeah.
I have an idea. A local high school asked me, what can I do to contribute to like fundraising? And I said, I can't. Like, I can't. If I support you, I have to support every high school. So I don't want a banner. And I came with this idea of doing like an all-star game or an all-star weekend type event at a local high school. And obviously their goal is to like raise as much money as possible, and they have to make it make sense financially. And great. And I brought up softball. I said, what do we do for softball? And they said, oh, well, we can, year 2 or 3, we can like, let's wait. So we can collaborate on this. I want to find a local high school, and I want to rent out their softball field. And I want to put on essentially like a showcase weekend where it's speed, throwing, and a home run derby.
It's like a skills
competition. Yeah. $50 to enter, food truck, DJ, film, all the things, and make it like an all-star weekend. Maybe $100 to enter as a team, whatever it is. And then in that, we do a 50-50 raffle. And we do like, half of it goes to somewhere, and the other half goes to, a family or two that like that paid like they do at the MLB games. And I think, I can get Rawlings out there, I can get DeMarini, I can get all those like the big, and let these girls who like may never play college ball go do a skills or showcase.
Like a pro day.
Like a pro day,
yeah.
Correct. And like, would it be cool to get a couple college coaches out there for the older girls? Hell yeah. But like, if it doesn't, at least the 6-year-old can say she won the race. And like, there's those kind of like 60-yard dash and like, or first to second. So
right.
I'm gonna think about it, and I want to tap into my network. But at the end of the day, man, like I think for all the people that are listening, young, old, whatever, whatever your faith is, I think you need to find like that and not look to softball partners, job, whatever to anchor you. Funny you said that like God wants you to use your talent to bring people closer to him and to honor him. I also heard something yesterday that I was listening to. It said like God doesn't want you to be a YouTuber. God doesn't want you to be, or doesn't care if you're a YouTuber or a painter. Like, he's given you a gift, and if you don't use that gift to bring other people closer to him,
it's wasted.
Then you've missed your call.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing, is whatever the gift is, if he is the center point, he is the focal point, he is the anchor, and you use that to bring people in like you did when you started doing your church thing and friends went with you, well then yeah, you did it because softball was the reason why you met those people and those people went to church with you. So you did use it to like, you did use your gift to do what he...
To a degree.
Right, to a degree.
Small percent.
But whatever, you did nonetheless. So Yeah. I'm excited for where this is going, and I think like we have a couple cool guests lined up for the next couple podcasts. I'm gonna reach out to like a couple coaches and see if we can get some, like whether it's the head coach of UCF or the baseball coach, or I was in the airport in Ohio and I met the head soccer coach at Rollins. They were flying home from Ohio.
Oh, really?
And I was sitting there talking with her, and like, so maybe even like a different segment of like a different sport. But
That'd be cool.
Cool. So wrapped up. If you haven't done it yet, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, like, follow, share, subscribe.
Send this episode to one person who doesn't know who we are.
Yeah, one person.
One person.
If you can share it with one person or somebody who
Your
you
mom
think
and them.
could use a little bit of
The word.
the word,
Cool.
the good word.
Done.
Later.